Hi there. Thanks for watching. I'd like to give you a brief introduction and overview to the content of the course, who I am, and why I'm teaching it. If you've already signed up and you want to get straight to the technical content, you're obviously free to do so and skip this lecture to learn at your own pace. Okay, so let's put Excel VBA in context. Excel has been around with us since 1987. And despite us being well into the 21st century, it is still used by hundreds of millions of people. There are actually really good reasons for this. Excel is an amazing program. And if you're working on projects which require really detailed, fine-grained, flexible data calculation and work delivered in a customizable visual environment, then Excel is often still the best tool of choice today. Coding was first brought into Excel all the way back in 1993. At that time, Microsoft had been developing Visual Basic as a consumer-facing, easy-to-learn programming language, which also allowed you to design those forms, which are so useful to interact with in Windows. So what they did was tweak Visual Basic to allow you to refer to and interact with applications like Excel and Word. And that's how Visual Basic for Applications, or just VBA, was born. Today, the ecosystem of programming languages looks very different. But Excel's massive popularity means that backward compatibility is a serious priority. And as a result, VBA is still the only language that allows you to directly interact with the Excel application. Why should you care? Well, even though you can do amazing things with Excel's graphical front end, there is no question that you will always be able to do more quickly, more powerfully, if you take the next step and learn how to problem solve in VBA, and above all, learn how to use it to automate your Excel activities at blistering speed. Yet, the people who dare to try and do this end up doing something terrible. They take this amazing time-saving feature and use it in the worst, most time-wasting way possible. Most people either just use the record macro feature in the main window, or if they are more ambitious, will painfully stumble through some lines of code in the editor without knowing what they're doing, what those buttons are, or what any of the menu features do. They'll then hurriedly leave back to the main Excel window as soon as possible. Now, I get it. You're scared of breaking things and you are under pressure to deliver on a project. So there's just no time to step back and learn how to do things properly. I know because I've been there myself. And when I think back to how much time I wasted that I'm never going to get back, it's embarrassing to say the least. I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. So I put together a short course that would have quite literally blown my mind had I seen it when I first started using VBA more heavily at work. So who am I to be teaching you this course? Well, my background to date has been in finance and business. As was typical at the time, my first roles did require any programming skill. All the analysis was done entirely using Excel's normal front-end features. Eventually, though, the math problems got more complex and work demands kept rising to the point where I would regularly have to stay way past midnight. That gave me every incentive to figure out ways to speed up and automate the repetitive tasks in my workflow. So I developed VBA solutions to do just that. All this culminated in the crowning achievement of my last corporate job, where I had developed VBA-driven pricing models, which I was able to run automatically on 10 computers to win the company contract to build renewable energy plants, then valued at $1 billion. That journey was long and slow because I had no training to support me on the coding side, and pressure was on to just get on with it and deliver on these high-stakes projects. Even though I achieved a successful result, I can look back and see that lots of things were done really inefficiently because I didn't have the knowledge to do anything different. So I've put together this course and others so that you don't have to go through the same thing, and so that instead you can catapult yourself straight into advanced, time-saving work practices properly. I guarantee this course will completely transform the way you work with VBA Editor and therefore the way you work with Excel as well. This course has been carved out from ones more specifically focused on financial modeling, but this lecture series on the VBA Editor absolutely stands on its own 100% and is relevant to every Excel user who already works with VBA code or wants to start doing so. My other courses are getting a positive reception from thousands of students in over 120 countries. So I invite you to read over the comments if you'd like to see what their experiences have been like. In any case, If you're unsatisfied for whatever reason, you can get your funds back, no questions asked, within 30 days of your purchase, so there's no risk to you. Anyhow, enough done for this introduction. I hope it has piqued your interest and that you'll come join in for the full course. I look forward to seeing you there.